Hello guys and welcome to my channel. Alright, please do not forget to subscribe, hit the bell notification and give a thumbs up for this video. In few seconds, I just want to explain to you the troubleshooting steps you need to take whenever you're faced with a permission problem for a SharePoint site or OneDrive for Business. Number one, understand the hierarchy. There is a hierarchy approach in SharePoint. It always starts from the parent to the library to the folder, and to the file. A SharePoint site being the parent, that's called the site level, followed by the library. It could be a document library, it could be a list library, or any other kind of library. Then we have the folder structure, which could be nested folder, that is, we can have folder inside a folder, and the last being the file. Why do we need to understand these levels? Very simple. It's because each of these levels cannot live in isolation of themselves. That is, you cannot have a file that would just come from nowhere out of the blues. No, it doesn't work like that in SharePoint. I'm sure you know that, right? Okay, even if you do not know. So a file would only come from a library, a document library, or from a folder. That is to say, we can only create a file from a folder or from a library. Then, if you move up the ladder to a folder, you cannot have a folder in isolation. A folder would always be a document library, always. You can as well upload a folder from the local machine into your SharePoint site. Okay, it's still the same thing because you're going to be uploading it inside a document library. As well, a document library, that is not the only library that exists on the SharePoint site. You have various numerous libraries. But speaking of libraries, you cannot have a document library or any library whatsoever in isolation. It has to come from a SharePoint site. In other words, you also cannot have a SharePoint site if it was not created. So you see that similarity in terms of hierarchy and flow of how things come from bottom down. In that sense, there is a design of Microsoft that is called the inheritance model. The inheritance model uses the same approach. That is to say, whatever permission was given to the parent would be inherited by the child. So the child, in the case of the site, is who? Guess you're right, the document library. And the child of the child of the library will be who? Or will be what? Correct, the folder. And similarly, the file is a child of the folder, correct, depending if the file was created in the folder. You get the point. Now, the second thing that we need to consider as after considering the different level structure is the use of groups. Now, groups come by default when you create a SharePoint site, and these groups are three in number. They are the owners group, who is the person or the person that created the site. We have the members group, and then we have the visitors group. Now, the owners group actually inherits permission called full control, whereas the members group inherits the permission called edit. Likewise, the visitors group inherits the permission called read. So you can see what is happening in groups is that whoever you put inside the group as either a user or another group, because you can have multiple groups, then they would automatically inherit the permission access. Now, hence the reason why it's good to pay attention to these little things, because you could solve more problem of people getting access to confidential information, giving wrong access to people because you were not able to understand these little details. But with this understanding, I'm sure you'll be able to properly organize your site, properly organize your sharing, properly organize your groups, and ensure the people that you want to have access are put in the correct group. Does that make sense? Yes. Now, there is the last one, which is the caveat, and it's called the sharing policy. So that is to say, how would members on my site be able to share either externally or to other people in our organization? All right, you can actually change that particular policy in the SharePoint Admin Center. All right, so you navigate to the SharePoint Admin Center as a global admin or a SharePoint admin. And if you're a user, excuse me, and if you're a user and you pretty much are very concerned about your members being able to share things uncontrollably, you want to speak to your respective admin and they would help you to ensure that they set the right policy, all right, from the SharePoint Admin Center. In the SharePoint Admin Center, they can control the sharing policy that would automatically trigger when people try to share out the organization or within the organization. It's very helpful, trust me. It saves a lot. It really saves a lot. Now, considering the whole insecurity issues of cyber attacks, to businesses, confidential informations, very sensitive informations, you want to really set that. Okay, so leave in the comment below if you want me to do a video about that. I will show you, I'll walk you through and give you the various breakdown on it. Okay, all right. Once again, thank you so much for your time. And please do subscribe, leave a comment for me on what you would like me to talk about or what you like me to show you about. Yes, I did not do any demonstration today. This is just a brief talk to just let you know about these very key things or details that I feel is helpful. All right. And like I always tell people, the complexity of anything is in the simplicity of that particular thing. So don't look beyond what is in front of you. Look at the very little details of that thing that is in front of you, and you'll see the solution. All right. So thank you so much for your time, and God bless you.